Hello, Gun Connects here. Welcome to the channel. We're going to be doing something a little bit different from my last few videos. We're going to be going over my military surplus long gun collection. I have a few different rifles to go over here, so this is going to be a little bit longer video. It's not really a history lesson per se, but it's going to be more about the guns I have and why I bought them, where I got them, why I love them, and my crippling addiction to buying more and more military surplus guns as my life goes on. So starting with the top of the list here, we're going to be looking at my Tula Arsenaled M44 Mosin Nagant. It is in one of the earlier productions. You can see by the mounting lug for the folding bayonet. It doesn't have the two positions, it just has the one, where only the ring here holds it in place on the barrel. I got this at a gun show, I'm going to say right around 2014, 2015-ish. I've used this for quite some time. I haven't really used it for any practical purpose other than mag dumping into trash, hitting steel out to 300-400 yards. Probably one of my more sentimental rifles. It was one of the earlier ones I bought. It's in fairly good condition. I'll give you guys some more B-roll of it. Some of the bluing isn't the best. Still sweats out an awful lot of cosmoline, even though I've cleaned this about 3 dozen times. But I absolutely love this rifle. With this rifle, I don't have any sling or anything and such like that. I have been thinking about getting a sling for it. It's not really on my high priority list. Some of the hardware is bluing is wearing off, but the receiver is still in half decent condition. Some of the internals are still in pretty good condition. The wood's not all chewed to fuck. I've done my best to keep fairly decent care of the rifle. So I haven't been trying to hammer nails into the deck or anything like that with it. But this is the first rifle up on the list. Just remember, later we are going to be doing more videos at the range. I just thought we'd do a quick overview of the rifles I have in the collection when it comes to military surplus. Next rifle on the list here is my Swiss K31. I've had this since about right around the same time, 2014, 2015. I would have been about 18, 19 when I got this rifle. It's pretty near and dear to my heart. I remember I got this rifle at Wholesale Sport back before they shut down. And I'd only paid about $285 for this rifle. And they actually let me pick which rifle I wanted off the rack, which is fairly uncommon, especially in this day and age where you're just given what you get and you're going to like it, or you're going to have to hunt down what you actually want. I do not have the bayonet for this rifle. Do have the sling, still has the paperwork behind the buttstock. The wood is in fairly decent shape. The buttstocks are usually kind of beat up on these because every single one of these rifles were used. The bluing is in fantastic shape. A few little marks on the hardware, but all around, awesome rifle. I've used this rifle for open sight long range shooting. I made hits out to 500 meters, half a kilometer. I think that's fairly decent as far as military surplus rifles go, especially with open sights. I'll give you guys some B-roll showing you the rifle up and close. You can still see some of the deep marking from the Swiss acceptance marks on the stock here. The magazine is removable on these guys. These take 7.5 by 55. It's getting harder and harder to find. I know PPU is starting to make ammunition. I don't own any. I only have the Swiss ammunition for it. Here's some more of the beautiful machine work that they have done on the receiver. There's the open front sight, or rear sight, sorry. barrel bands. I don't have it on hand, it's actually at my parents' place, but I do have the little brass muzzle cap for it as well. Once again, I don't have a bayonet for it. That's one thing that's been on my list for quite some time. Just yet again, accoutrements like that aren't really my deal. I do have bayonets and whatnot for some of my other rifles, but not for some of these other ones. Next on the list is one I've actually had since right around 2016. It's a fairly beautiful example of a M1917. This is a Remington made rifle, not an Eddystone or a Winchester. It is in fairly good condition. The wood isn't all beat to crap. It has some interesting story behind this rifle, where it came from. This rifle is actually RCA marked. Was part of an artillery unit in Brandon, Manitoba. It has some of the remnants of the paint that they put on the front of the foregrip wood. They painted these red right up at the front. I don't know how well it comes out on camera, but there are some red specks of paint still on it. I don't know if somebody rubbed it off or it just come off over time, but there is definitely little specks of red paint left over. They're marked that way because the Canadian military used 303 British at the time when they were given these guns in a Lend-Lease program, and these are a 30-06 rifle. All the other markings and proof marks are United States property, United States military marking. I picked this rifle up from a pawn shop in the city. I traded some musical equipment. I think I kicked in a little bit of cash. I've used this rifle, make shots 300 plus yards or meters. It's a very, very nice shooting rifle. Very old. Shoots a lot better than some of the modern rifles I've shot, owned, or used. The next rifle I'm gonna flap my gums at you guys about is my M1 Garand. It's built off an Italian receiver. It was a parts kit rifle, so it wasn't just put on a shelf and looks like this. It has immaculate looking wood on it. No dings, no scratches, nothing. I've oiled it a few times with linseed oil just to keep it from being all dried and blowing apart on me when I go to shoot it. A lot of the metal is in very, very good condition. The only thing that's missing a little bit of bluing is some of the front hardware there, but that's very common. Surprisingly enough, this is one of the few rifles I own that has the required attachments here. I have a bayonet for it. I have the sling for it. Of course, I have to have a lot of the clips. They don't really like running without clips, so I have to have a large collection of end-block clips to keep this little girl running. And here's a closer look up of the beautiful, beautiful wood that's on this rifle. Picked up the parts kit from Aztec Armory, and I got the receiver off Firearms Outlet Canada. Haven't done anything too crazy with this rifle for long range shooting. Made shots to 265 yards. That's all what the local gun range goes to. I've tried a little bit longer shots, only a couple of times. Haven't been overly successful with super long range shooting. Here's a not very good shot of the receiver markings. And just so that no one can complain that I didn't do it. There's the bayonet on the rifle. The next rifle up on the list is another one that's fairly near and dear to my heart. It is my #1 Mark III Lee Enfield short action long Lee. They have their removable magazines on them. This one is actually more of a family heirloom, if anything. This was handed down to me from my dad, which was given to him by his dad. As long as it's been in the family, it was originally a sporter gun, but I kind of butchered the gun and put it back to military configuration. Butcher might not be the best word, but more restored it. The sporterized stocks were cracking and didn't look all that great. My grandfather got it from doing a guy's brakes back in the 1950s. Now I got a Prestigious Woods figured wood kit. It's an all serialized kit for the wood, and I picked up all the hardware from Marstar. The only thing I'm really missing is the front stacking swivel, and I don't have a sling for it. And I also picked up some bayonets. I bought them online. Tried going to a few gun shows to find bayonets. Everybody was asking outrageous prices, so I just ordered them online. This one doesn't have a scabbard or a frog or what you're going to call it on this. This one isn't really historically accurate to this rifle. This is a BSA, not a Lithgow or anything like that, but I have the machete bayonet. It's actually fairly sharp. Used it once or twice as a machete just to see how it holds up. Holds up pretty well. And I'll give you guys some better shots of the wood close up. The only piece of the hardware that didn't get bought from Marstar was the buttstock. That was on the old Sporter. Beautiful, beautifully figured wood though. All the bluing's actually held up over the years. I love this rifle. Me and my dad actually stored this back to factory configuration in his basement. Took a little work mending the wood to specifically fit it, but it was a really, really good time. And I'll show you guys the underside too. And same deal. Put the bayonet on it. Might be a little bit difficult to do one-handed here, but there we go. So next time I'm stuck in trench warfare, I guess I'm set. Now for the final entry in my collection here of military surplus long arms. It is my Czech-made Mauser. It's a VZ-24 made in the Brno factory. I had actually acquired this making a trade with my dad. I had a Yugo M48 made in the Zasva factory. It was in a little bit rougher shape. I had to do quite a bit of work to get all the cosmoly and grease out of the wood. Ended up looking half decent. But my dad knew I was, or still am, a big fan of Czech arms manufacturing, and so he made a trade with me. This rifle isn't absolutely perfect, but I really like it. Haven't taken out too many times, taken out maybe half a dozen times just screwing around. Doesn't have a bayonet with it. I'm missing the front sight hood before anybody comments and says that it's an incomplete rifle. I'm fully aware. Still doesn't affect the function of the rifle. Still make hits out to 300 plus yards. Has a few marks and blemishes, but it is a very, very nice rifle. I'll give you guys some close-up. There is a little stock repair on the foregrip. I don't know if that is really coming through very good on camera, but I'll give you guys a closer look at the rifle. Here's the closer look. Still in fairly decent shape. Really, really beautiful bluing. Really, really nice machine work. Here's a closer look at that stock repair that's on the foregrip. Doesn't really affect the performance of the rifle. Small blemish on the left-hand side of the rifle. Yeah, very nice shooter. 7.92 is a very, very nice recoiling cartridge. Doesn't beat the ever-living crap out of you. I actually like shooting it more than 30-06. Yeah, this is a look at the VZ24. As a little bonus, well, I'll go over one last rifle. It's not exactly a military rifle. It's a clone of a military rifle. It is my Noranco JW25A. It's a little magazine-fed 22 bolt action that's meant to look like a K98K. I don't know much about these rifles. I picked it up from a guy out down south when we were going down to the city the one day. He had a huge collection of rifles that he had for sale, and most of it was more Western and hunting style rifles. I'm more of a military surplus style kind of guy, or some tactical rifles. He didn't really have anything like that except for this. So I picked this up. Cost me a few $100. It's fairly decent shape. I've only taken it out a couple of times since I got it. Picked it up this late spring. Came with 2 magazines. Seems to shoot half decent. I've only really shot it out to like 75 yards. Only really fed CCI Blazer ammo through it. But straight shooter, nice rifle, all around good pickup. Here's a closer look at the rifle. Has pretty decent machining. Bluing hasn't come off in massive patches or anything. Not that they're supposed to. Actually has a ladder sight that says it goes out to 200 yards. Maybe I'll have to test that out, see if I can make hits out to 200 yards with it. I highly doubt I can make anything too consistent. It's not like I'm a professional shooter or anything. Has a mounting for Weaver style scope rings. And rumor has it, it'll actually accept a Mauser bayonet on it. Maybe I'll have to pick up a Mauser bayonet and try that out someday. The cleaning rod's actually functional as well, which is very strange for a Chinese-made clone of a German rifle. But it seems like all the parts are there. There's a little safety. Bolt comes out pretty easily. Just pull the trigger and bolt comes right out. Yeah. Fairly simple. It was a good pickup. Well, thanks for watching and listening to me drone on about some semi-common rifles I've picked up over my lifetime. It's a fairly decent collection. It's nothing to write home about or It's not like I have a real museum going on or anything, but I thought I'd share it with you guys. Once again, I'll try to make it out to the range, make some videos for you guys. Maybe show you guys what some of these old girls can really do. Some of these rifles are over a century old, like the M1917 or my long Lee Enfield that was made in 1913. Or some of the other rifles are pushing a century, like the VZ24 or the K31. But thanks for watching, and see ya.